So I would like to do a bonus video today, and I'm trying to share with you guys the most painful experience of an empath who has been involved in a narcissistic relationship. Okay, so this will be in my own perspective, but I still believe you are an empath. You've had a narcissist in your life. You have most likely seen this thing what I'm going to talk about. Now, when we're talking about narcissists, we do not necessarily mean that it's always turmoil, it's always chaos, it's always drama, it's always this. We don't always mean that it's always, like 100% chaos and drama 24/7. Okay, so there's times when things are smooth. You might wake up one day and there may be could be a normal day. You could have a breakfast, and you could have try even some time to have a normal conversation. Although now we're looking back and we're realizing that actually the people that we were discussing with in that time, they couldn't get us, so they were not with us in that moment. But at least we remember that there were some few days, a couple of days, weeks, when you could go along and get along with the narcissist. Okay, you could go on a dinner date, or you could wake up every morning and eat a nice meal, clean around the house, go do the shopping and everything, run some errands around the house. There's been some of those moments. But the empath also recognizes that there is a moment when you have seen the narcissist trying to do the right thing. You have seen the narcissist trying to do the right thing. What do I mean by trying to do the right thing? Because you have seen that sometimes it was feeling like this person is lost, or sometimes you was feeling like you was talking to a robot, or sometimes you was feeling like you was trying to relate with somebody and the two of you are not on the same page. So you wake up in arguments, for example, and you try to make your feelings understood. This is what I want, I don't like this, or I like this, or I don't like that. You try to, in any partnership, you try to put out these points in advance. Okay, so I deserve much more respect. Maybe you are not going to talk to me like that. It's not going to be acceptable. There is things that you like. Okay, so you tell these things to this individual, and then for some reason they will try to catch up in those early weeks and months. And as the time goes on, you're going to recognize that they cannot catch up with those things that you want. They're just going to do it their way, And you're going to remind them, listen, I told you a few months ago that you cannot talk to me like that because it is disrespectful, or you cannot do this, or because so you've heard these other things that we've been talking about every now and then that you really feel the other person should know. Okay, so for this partnership to go forward and to move forward, you feel that there are some things they should know. You have told them these things, they have agreed that they're going to comply, but for some reason they have broken the rules. You've warned them, I told you before. Okay, sorry, I forgot. They did it the right way. 2 days later, they broke the rules. So you have seen these patterns where the narcissist has continuously been breaking the rules. Okay? And for me, in all the partnerships I've engaged over the years, I now understand that because of this awakening, it has helped me understand, okay, so the people that I was dealing with weren't normal. Okay, so they weren't normal human, normal people like everybody else, like they wanted us to believe. And it has helped me understand the reason as to why things used to move in a certain direction and go ahead in a certain way. Because now I have all the answers, okay? But back then I didn't have all the answers. And it used to stress me too much back then, because I was thinking that why can't I get this person in the right lane? Okay, so you guys are moving in a relationship. You're probably thinking that you guys are on the same page, moving towards the same direction, and you're with this person who seems to be going completely opposite direction. So it's like every now and then you've been trying to pull them back into the right lane so that you guys can move together, vibrate and move together. And for some reason, They will move with you for a couple of seconds or minutes, and then they will still go back on the other opposite direction. So you have seen the narcissist trying very, very hard to do the right thing. And I don't know what has been your experience, but for me, it has been very painful, because it puts an empath, you know, if you're an empath and you're with this person who you're trying to fix, you know, you're trying to fix them, you're trying to correct them, you're trying to show them the right thing. You know that these people, there is something, you're feeling, there is that thing in the back of your head is clicking, there is something wrong with this person. You cannot really figure out what it is, you know. And you're continuously trying to help them. Listen, babe, let's do it this way. Let's do like this. So maybe they've broken something, you fix it. They broke this, you fix this. So you've been a fixer. There was breaking and you fixing. There was going wrong, you corrected them. So you have been the one who has been stabilizing this relationship from day one. And as an empath, you are very familiar to the situation when you have really seen that person trying to do the best they can. It could be anything. It could be trying even sometimes to have a normal day, okay? You guys woke up in the morning, there was a nice movie going on, you was watching this movie, everything was nice, you know, there's your favorite TV shows or whatever with your partners and everything. And as soon as the evening kicks in, something just taps their brain, you know, and they just switch 180 degrees. Now all of a sudden there's chaos in the house. And sometimes you're thinking that this person is broken, you know. The person is broken. There is something that you don't really understand, but you know that the person is broken, because you cannot really put a finger on it. You cannot point the direction where it is, but you know there's something wrong with this person. I told you this yesterday, you did it again. I told you that last night, you did it again. I told you this today, you have done it again. So they are keeping on this cycle, and they cannot happen to break out of this cycle. And you see, like I've said, that not all times are going to be very bad times. So there is usually going to be sometimes moments when things are going to be okay. And in those moments when the things are okay, you're trying to see that person who is behind the narcissist. Or can I say, you're trying to see the original person before they became narcissists. You're trying to see them pick up a little bit of pieces together. You're trying to see them put things together, okay? They are trying to take care of the kids. They are trying to, maybe sometimes even something as simple as make a conversation. But at the same time, you're tapping into this conversation and you're thinking that this conversation is messed up. There is something in the middle of the conversations, and the conversations are completely messed up. And you're thinking that there is a person in there, you know? There has been a person initially back in the days, many years ago, that was in there before they completely lost themselves. And sometimes it feels like the narcissist is remembering who they are, who they were back in the days, and then at the same time they forget. So it's like there's a moment, I'm finding the right words to use in this video. There's that moment when the narcissist remembers a little bit, even a little bit, for a minute, even for an hour or for an hour or two, doing things the way they should be done, like remembering who they originally were. And then it's going to happen for 2 hours, and you're going to be happy with it. You know, all of a sudden they're nice. Okay, so, you know, for the first time you have had a nice conversation, everything has been nice, had a nice meal, you went out, things went okay. 3-4 hours later, they flip. And that thing is confusing the empath like nothing. That thing is driving the empath crazy. That kind of behavior, when they do that, is driving the empath crazy, because you're thinking, what are you going to do to fix this? What the best? Is there anything else you can do? You have tried all avenues, they have failed. You're trying to fix somebody, but the only thing they're not telling you is that they've got a problem. So for me, when I woke up, I think in those early days, when I woke up in that time from abuse, I was thinking that this person knew this entire time, you know. They knew this whole time that they had a problem. They just couldn't tell me what it was. But they knew the entire time they had a problem. And you know, sometimes when you're dealing with the unknown, it's very difficult to find a solution. You guys get it? when you're dealing with the unknown, something you don't even know that exists, you're trying to think that there's a problem, but you're not even sure about it, because the person you're with, they're not going to tell you that there's a problem. They're just going to play along and play around with your mind and everything, but they're not telling you that there's a problem, because they're not capable to do that. Because the moment they mention that, that's the end of the relationship, and they don't want to lose you. So they're just keeping you in these cycles of confusion. You're dealing with a person that you don't even know has a problem, and now at the end of the day, you're waking up and you're figuring out that these people back in the days, they knew this entire time there was an issue. So for me, that's what I found the most disturbing situation in that relationship, because I figured out this person knew this entire time they had a problem. I was the only one that didn't know that. Even the whole entire family and crew, friends, everybody knew that. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything. So this whole thing is very dangerous and very, very risky to put up with a show for years. A person puts up a show for 10, 20 years, you are in an illusion. I don't even know that you are wasting time with an individual that you're not supposed to be with. So you're trapped in this illusion of the narcissist. You know, you're with a person who doesn't even exist. You know. So for the empaths, I want to know what has been your experience, because I know that you have got that moment where it was very painful for you to watch and even trying to fix that person, because sometimes you would watch them. They were trying to do the right thing, okay? And they actually did the right thing for a couple of minutes, maybe even a couple of hours. It could even have gone ahead for a day. You would see them doing the right thing, making the right meals, cooking the right way, you know, everything was perfect. Trying to make a nice conversation. You enjoyed the conversation, it was okay. And then for some reason they flipped 180 degrees and they went back to their patterns. So there is something going on. It's like a software. It cannot allow them to keep focused doing the right thing. So it cannot allow them to focus and to stay in the right lane. So they have to keep on moving like in zigzag lines, you know what I mean? So they're unpredictable. You know, you go to bed angry, you wake up happy, or you go to bed happy, you wake up angry. So there has to be a zigzag kind of situation, because that's how they survive. It's only very disturbing for the empath to find out that actually this whole thing has been a way how they have always survived, and the way how they have always siphoned energy from their victims. So that's how they have been. They have to move like that in zigzag lines and everything. They're not predictable. You couldn't know what to expect in the next day, or the next 2 days, or the next hour, even sometimes the next minute. You didn't know what to expect. You were just waiting, you know. The thing what you hear psychologists talking about, walking on eggshells. You were just there anticipating what is going to happen. You don't know. But there is moments, empath, I know. If you're an empath, there is a moment that you know that you have seen that narcissist try to do the best. It's only that they couldn't do it for long. But they have moments. There has been moments when they have tried to do the best, okay? So when you hear me talking about this kind of narcissistic relationship, the reason why you see me, I'm not really into hating narcissists. I don't come around here and I tell you should hate them and revenge and all those kind of things. I preach forgiveness because I know the people are broken, okay? They are broken. They are corrupted. They are lost, okay? So I understand that this thing isn't personal, okay? So there was somehow something happened to them, and they just had to keep on living. They couldn't tell you this, so they just maneuver their way into your life, and by trickery, some kind of trickery. And the only thing they knew was how to abuse, because that is their mission, to abuse and destroy. So they do not have like proper intentions for anyone. And that is how they are wired, okay? So this whole entire thing, that's why you hear me in my videos, I'm telling you, is not personal. Do not really take these things personal. Understand there is lessons that you've learned, ladies and gentlemen. And there's things that you are supposed to learn for you to evolve, okay? So let me know if you have experienced that most painful part, when you have seen the narcissist struggling to be their best self, or sometimes do the right thing, even at least for a minute or two. You've seen them struggling. You may not have mentioned it to them, but you have seen them struggling to do the right thing like normal people do, okay? Let us know about that incident in the comment section below. Until then, you guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.